Hey guys, Furum here, and today I'm going to be testing the Dodge Viper GTS in Asphalt 9 multiplayer. Now this is a car that has gone largely under the radar in the Asphalt 9 community, so I figured I'd give it its time to shine. I have 3-starred it, with all upgrades and import parts applied that I could at this time, bringing me to a rank just below 3,000, or specifically 2988. In this first race here, we have a quite close battle between me and another Viper GTS. Since this is an 8-player race, we've also got 3 Vulcans, 2 Cadillac Cians, and 1 Porsche 911. Now, this car, the GTS, drives largely like a pre-nerf Vulcan. It has that same feel to it. And now, even at 3 stars, this car goes faster by like 3 miles per hour or so than the Vulcan does at 4 stars. So this car is in fact a better choice than the Vulcan in this multiplayer season, if you have it at least 3 stars, I believe. Like the Vulcan, it seems to be fairly well balanced. Again, not the fastest in Class A, but still very good, and it can beat a lot of cars in a lot of different tracks. It's not really outstanding in any way, but it's not really bad in any way. It's just a really good, well-rounded car. Now, this other GTS we're facing here was only slightly higher ranked than us, but something weird was he was slightly above the highest rank for 3-star. So he must have 4-starred it and just done a little bit to it beyond 3-star upgrades, or he just upgraded something and left some other things down a lot. I don't know. But anyways, he was a good driver and it was fun racing with him here. Now here I believe going on the left is faster, like the way I just did, because thus I was able to pull a bit further ahead of him, shockwave up this ramp, and take the victory. And by the way, all the races in this video are sequential. This Viper in second place must really have been playing a lot, for he's at 4,000 plus rating. Now, all the races in this video were recorded in the Rush series, which is like the Full Ahead series in that you really can't lose points and everyone goes up, aside for a few little things. While the basic idea is the same, the point differences have been changed. First goes up 36, second goes up 24, and so on down till you get equals in 7th place and -2 in 8th. Now here I get bumped a bit at the beginning. Thankfully I'm able to get back onto track and use some speed tricks to catch up to some people. Somehow that Vulcan didn't get knocked down, but I was pretty sure that I'd probably be able to come back at least a bit in this race. If not first, then probably to at least second, because I'm already into third after that problem at the beginning of the race. Now, one thing that you may have noticed about this season is that if you are in Gold League or below, you will get paired with a whole lot of noobs in either Amateur or, not Amateur, that's Asphalt 8, Bronze or Silver League, because what it does is it doesn't really do matchmaking by rating, but by league. Gold, Silver, and Bronze all play together, and Platinum and Legend play together. So this makes it a bit interesting, and it makes it fairly easy to win races if you're in Gold League, but once you get into Platinum it becomes a lot harder very quickly. I feel that this season was definitely an improvement upon the previous season where they were trying this almost everybody goes up thing. I feel it's a lot more balanced in this one. So we've come in first here ahead of 4 Vulcans as well as 3 other vehicles. The Vulcan, I believe, is the most popular car this multiplayer season. Even though there are a lot of choices, the Vulcan is the one that pretty much everybody has, at least start up to 3 or probably even 4 at this point in the game, and thus it's what a lot of people use because it's so easy to drive and all that. However, they are still fairly easy to beat if you drive in most other Platinum League and beyond cars because, well, these cars are better than the Vulcan. But if you're more of a beginner and you do just have the Vulcan, you can still do quite well in this season as long as you can play a lot because, well, you just have to do that and come in at least a podium position, I'd say, and you can get fairly high rating, probably get to Legend League and top 3,000. Now there, I accidentally did a 360. Yes, I promise you it was accidental. There was nobody even around that I could have been trying to 360. That just happens to me sometimes. Now, it happens when you press S twice in succession. Usually that ends up happening just when I'm trying to drift and then nitro and then drift again or something like that. It's really weird. Alex has said it's happened to him as well, so I'm not the only one. So we round the final bend and come in first in this race ahead of, you guessed it, a bunch of Vulcans. There's 4 other Vulcans in this race and 3 other vehicles. Kind of a lot like the previous race. Now for a race against 2 Bugatti Chirons. One of them is at 4200 rank, and one of them is at 3700 rank. Not exactly, of course, that's approximate. We've also got a Vulcan or two, and 3 LaFerraris. That's the most LaFerraris I think I've ever seen in a single race. You're probably wondering where the Chiron is. Well, there he is, and there he goes passing us. Now, the thing about the Chiron is, while it is a super duper fast car, it's got to have a place to get up to that speed, which is why in this race you'll see that he doesn't get super duper far ahead of me because it's not on a track like Himalayas where you can just go off a ramp and then come down at 280 miles per hour. No, Scotland's had a lot of twists and turns, and the Chiron's nitro efficiency is only average. So yeah, that's why he doesn't just fly ahead on the track. At this point, I almost caught up to the Chiron, but then because of his very superior speed, I was able to get ahead again, but then he went in the grass and I caught up to him again. And for some reason, I have this odd tendency to hit people from behind when they slow down in front of me instead of trying to pass them, which makes absolutely no sense since you can't knock them down, but it just happens to me quite a lot. But anyway, he manages to get ahead, and with the finish line not too far ahead, there is no way that I'm going to be able to catch up to him. So we lost to that Chiron, but we did beat another one, a rank 3700 one, who is still like 700 rank above me and much faster, and somehow he was nowhere close. He actually came in 4th, and another Dodge Viper beat him. In this race, we are facing that same Bugatti Chiron at 3700 rank, as well as 3 other Dodge Viper GTSs. For some reason, there has seemed to be a trend recently of Dodge Viper GTS multiplayer videos. I've seen at least 2 or 3 recently. That's not why I decided to do mine, but it's kind of coincidental. So back there, that Rizvani tried to 360 me, thankfully didn't work, and I go up along the side, braking, and then shockwave when I go down there. That is the best way to get through that section in most cars. In really slow ones with good nitro efficiency, you can just go up the hill with a single nitro going. But in cars like this one, I found that going over to the left there, braking, then shockwaving off is the best way to do it. And ironically, the Bugatti just knocked down that Rizvani that tried to knock me down earlier in the race. Now for a bit of channel news. Just yesterday, we hit 15,000 subscribers. Thank you all so much for that. It is a very big milestone, and it sure means a lot to me. And as promised, I have changed my profile picture to the one that I posted in the community tab a couple weeks ago. I figured that the Minecraft one probably did not suit my channel well anymore since I haven't actually made a Minecraft video since March of 2018. So yeah, I figured it was time to change it up, get ourselves a bit of a new one that had more of a racing theme to it, because I am planning to also play some Forza Horizon 4 at some point, and for the most part you guys have seemed to like it, so that's a win-win in my book. Speaking of Forza Horizon 4, what would you guys like to actually see me do in that game? Because I'm not really sure yet. So we've come in first in this race, again beating that 3700 ranked Bugatti Chiron. The 3 Dodge Vipers came in after him, and that poor Rizvani, who tried to knock me down earlier in the race, came in 7th. Now we're on the exact same track. Again, that doesn't usually happen. Remember, these are sequential races, so I played these two right after one another, so that just seems rather odd. Maybe not as much as if you could play on all of the 90-second tracks in the season, but still pretty odd. Now, it's happened before, but I don't know, it just hasn't happened in a while. If you guys didn't know, they not only have specific cars you can use each season, but they choose specific tracks as well. Yes, not all of the 90-second tracks are available each season. Now, one thing that I have thought would be quite interesting is if they made a season that was all one laps, like this one, where you could play on some of the different length tracks, like the 120-second ones, because there are some very fun ones of those. Possibly even the 60-second ones, but I'd personally really like to see the 120 ones quite a bit, at least sometimes. The guy directly behind me right now is a 3300 rank Pagani Huayra BC, which I have actually managed to get, only at 1 star unfortunately, but I at least got it, and I'm going to continue saving my tokens for what probably will come next, the Regera. And it is quite likely that the 918 and Huayra will be needed to get the Regera, or at least very useful in getting it, so if you're close to those, it might be worth picking them up. So we beat that BC, as well as a bunch of other cars, including a Chevrolet Corvette Grand Sport, which I do want to make a video out of. Now, I only have it at 1 star, and while it's pretty good at 1 star, you can't make it purple, so I kinda want to wait till I at least 2 star it, but we'll see. Now, at the beginning of this race here, I get shoved around a bit, and this Mustang here pushes me off the side, but I improvised and went through the tunnel here and came out alive. Thankfully, I wasn't exactly sure if I was going to or not, and then I passed him, so it's not a big deal. Now it's time for my general review about this car. It's very smooth, fun to drive, and easy. Overall, simply a fun car to drive, and fairly good in most of the seasons where it's available. Honestly, I am glad to see the influx of videos about this car recently because it really hasn't gotten a whole lot of love in the past. So for those of you who have not seen my community post yet about hitting 15,000 subscribers, I'm going to be uploading an Asphalt 9 music video at 16,000 subscribers. It has to do with, well, let's just say, an interesting mechanic of the game. I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy it. And also, let's not forget about the face reveal at 25,000 subscribers. I am still planning to do that, so tell your friends if you want to see what the guy behind this channel looks like sooner. In Asphalt 8, I managed to win the Nissan 370Z SE as my 198th car. I purchased a car for my 199th one, and I plan to get to Champion League and get the HTT Plether as my 200th car. Then make a final garage video and not go for any more special events in that game. And here we come in first. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like the video if you've enjoyed, and consider subscribing for more Asphalt 8 and 9 content. And I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!